Okay, Millia guide. Yay! Millia season 2 guide. Millia season 2 guide. Um since this is my typical main in Guilty Gear, I usually hold off before making this. We talk about her pros, her cons, her neutral game, offense, defense, some combos, and Okizeme. So we actually have quite a bit to cover. This is not really a beginner guide. This is a guide. If you're a beginner, this will help you. If you're an intermediate player, this will help you also. But I'm not going to be talking about like this is number notation and blah blah blah. Okay, so Millia, pros and cons. So I know in the gaming scene we like to say characters are broken and characters are trash, but instead let's talk about what's good about her and what's not good about her. So one thing that's good about her is that she is fast as fuck. She's one of the fastest characters in the game. So she's both fast at advancing towards you and retreating. Her backdash is instant. It is 16 frames, so it cannot be seen. Her IAD is also very fast too. She's able to act faster than any other character in the game out of her air dash. She's also not easy to anti-air, which is pretty important. In this game, a lot of characters have like this slow air dash, and honestly, her current air dash is slower than her old air dash. But a combination of being able to position really well for dash and anti-air tools like Capel. So if I try to anti-air this, I just get smoked, or this will happen. Oh, let's go. My 6P is top tier. There you go. If you try to anti-air, you'll just get smoked, or at least she'll get away. It will make it very hard for you to anti-air her, and she has a lot more movement options. So she has 2 air dashes, double jump and air dash is available. She has turbo fall, and she has Capel. So she has a lot of ways to rotate her air options, making it hard to anti-air. Her mix-up is very, very strong and basically not interactable anymore. It's very, very hard to deal with this. When she does this, she goes airborne and she has many options that we'll discuss later. And basically, your opponent can't really do anything about this besides just try to defend the best they can. They made a change in this version where the disc stays out no matter what. So if I do this, right? So let's say I just sit here. Okay, so the disc stays. So in the previous version, the disc would go away. This makes it much harder for people to actually like defend using their special moves. They basically have to try their best to actually block the mix-up. She's also quite good in positive. The main thing in positive bonus being that you passively gain meter. So that combined with the system change of you keeping meter when you do fast RC allows you to do many mix-ups in a row, right? So you get to do like, right, or you get to do this, which I messed up, or you could do, or, right? And the nice thing about these is that even if they defend, so let's use this as an example. Oh, whoops, hold on. Oh, I'm pressing my bad. Right? So even if they defend, you get to build risk, you get to keep on building meter because positive keeps moving, right? So that's pretty good for her. She's good with RC in general because she's fast and because of her mix-ups. So like the Bad Moon, Air Car, and just general use of meter, she's very good. And a nice thing too is she's safe against other positive characters because she's fast. So con number 1, her meter gain is not good. She does not build a lot of meter for comboing you really compared to other characters. This is a full combo that wall breaks, right? So if I did this mid-screen, I would not get even close to this, where other characters build way more meter than her. Wow. Other characters build a lot more meter than her. She's relatively easy to burst. She doesn't have a lot of naturally burst safe stuff. And one of the biggest ones is like your main win condition, which is this, is very easily burstable on reaction to seeing the disc. So there's that. Her risk game modifier is worse than other characters as well. So we'll use the magic of editing for this. However, like here, so this is like right before the T, right? So in the middle of the S. Okay, so notice how on this string it's in like the R, but against Millia it went to like almost to the T. It's because she builds risk faster than other characters on purpose, right? Another thing that's bad about her is her backdash. So her backdash is really good in neutral, but it's not so good in defense. And a really nice example to show this will be, let's grab Yo White Fang. There we go. Okay, so make sure. There you go. So this is a pretty good example. So her backdash is 4 frames invincible. So I'm not actually sure if you can even backdash this, to be honest. Maybe if like some perfect timing. I think you really can't though. This, where if I pick the Vemperor themselves. Now Testament should be able to backdash this. There you go. Oh, my timing sucks, but right. So Millia has problems getting out of stuff where other characters can like backdash out. Heavy characters backdash out of this for free. Characters with 5 frame, you kind of have to time it, and Millia, it's like if you can, it has to be absolutely perfect. So another issue with Millia is that she has a very small throw. So there's 3, to my knowledge, in this game there's only 3 throw sizes, just a large, medium, and small. Millia, N-Chip, and Geo now have the small throw. It's probably Bridget. Probably Bridget has the small throw as well. But what this means is that there's situations like this that she cannot deal with very easily. Okay. Look at me walking forward each time. See that? Just a little short. Just a little short. Okay. See the difference? So he has a bigger throw range than her. So that's a downside to playing her. Her air dash is short. It's about like half the length of other characters. So her 2 air dashes together is about the length of a normal air dash. But what this means is that since it's not far, you can't punish some stuff from far that other characters can. So a really easy example is this. Okay, we'll do and okay. This move is slow, to be fair. Okay, right. So not a punish, right? That's me trying to get there normally, right? Oh, remember, no jump, unless you slide it. Okay, a little slow. Me trying to delay. Okay. As opposed to same-ish range. Right, so you can see the difference. It's trivial to do it with other characters, where with her it's pretty hard. This is situational, but it comes up in a few matchups. A big one for me too is that she has to overextend on blockstring offense. So I actually separate knockdown offense, which is like everyone's gonna have strong knockdown offense, versus blockstring offense. And the main thing is, I mean, this applies to the previous patch too, but you still feel this as well. Is let's get block type. Is that basically all characters besides a couple have a plus on block close slash, right? Right, but the thing is, her close slash is more than 1 hit, so it's +1, but she gets pushed back really far, and her normals are not like huge. They're good in their own way, but they're not like huge. So you have to overextend sometimes with Millia, and if you pick the wrong thing and you're playing against certain characters, then they will delete you, right? So if I that's a simple one, because people do this all the time, right? So if I like do that is full combo wall break just because I overextended, right? So she doesn't build meter fast, but also you have to overextend. But if you don't overextend, you don't get resources. It's kind of tough. And the last thing is she can't attack safely in neutral. And what I mean is like When you fight with Millia in this version, you are basically fighting with her. You don't really use stuff that like protects you, so or like covers for you. So HC is the pretty simple one where like he literally like did like neutral ends when he has this, right? And because of this, he can get to like a spot, be super plus, pull up, and he's just in and he gets to do his thing. Or another really good example of a character that does this really well would be Lord Zato Ichi, right? Zato Ichi, Zato 1. So despite his flaws, one thing that he is extremely good at is that he's really good at attacking you safely in neutral, right? Mostly because of the Shadow, aka Eddie. So he has, for example, here, this is an instant, or if you jump, haha, right? Haha, okay, I pull up. Right, like he has ways to attack safely in neutral, and he also has ways to protect himself in neutral as well, where Millia does not. So, first I want to talk about her dash and her backdash. I said her backdash is instant. I know somebody's gonna be in the comments, be like, "Well, technically, humans can react 14 frames." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, but the game has delay. On PS4, it has 4 frames. PS5 is like 2, I think, right now. Even PC with 1, right? So. This we generally accept in anime games because most anime games are either 3-frame delay or 4-frame delay. That 18 frames or faster is just instant. So her, you just can't see this, and it travels really far. They basically have to chase you if you do this, right? If someone chases you, then you get to pick another thing. It's one of those, right? And her dash is really fast, so you can send it. Sometimes you can just run at them, and it's really scary. It's really fast. It's hard to react to. Normals, okay? Is a pretty standard normal 5K. There's a lot of characters that have 5Ks like this. Ram has a 5K like this. Chip has a 5K like this. The main advantage that 5K has is 1, it leads into your win condition, and 2, it changes to itself. That's the big one. So that if you run up to them and they block, you don't have to commit to the end of your block string. You can see that they blocked it and confirm the situation from there. You're gonna see me talk about confirming situations a lot. It's pretty important. One issue is the next norm I want to talk about, 2K. This move is amazing, right? Especially from around this range, because she really just pulls up on you. It also low profiles a ton of stuff. So, for example, I don't think Zato has one, but... Oh, you know... Here you go. Nago. Nago to Yuki. So this comes up a decent amount. Let me bonk, 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 and we'll do. Just oh, she's FDing too. My bad. Just do like. Okay. Oh, I ran too far. Pain. There you go. So she can go under stuff with her 2K, and it's fast. It's 6 frames, and of course, if you hit them, oh, he's mashing because why? Every single character I have them mashing something. Okay. If you hit them, you get this, which is really good, right? So you get your win condition off it. The main downside is that your Gatling options are not so great compared to 5K. So you have the same Gatling options overall. Like kicks all have the same stuff, like 5K 6B. 5K 6K, 5K 6H. So you have 2K 6K, which is new to this game. She didn't have it in Exerd to my knowledge. But the thing is, you can't match 2K, where you can match 5K. So a lot of people, and this is pretty standard practice, will do 2K 2D. And you have to be careful about doing 2D against characters when they have resources, because if they block that sweep, you're dead, right? So that'll be an example of maybe why you might want to pick 5K over 2K. Cool. Yeah, 4/. This move has been buffed like crazy. It is probably the second best version of this move she's ever had. I think it's very big. It's 9 frames. It's really, really hard for people to deal with, especially since it's bigger than her 5K and 2K. So if you're scared of running all the way up, you could use this to vary your positioning a little bit. On counter hit, it's pretty easy to combo off of, but at max range, she doesn't really get that much return. So keep that in mind. Then you have S-Disc. This is probably her safest poke hitbox-wise because you're setting a projectile at them. This move has a couple of problems in my opinion, but it is a good move. The main use of this, besides attacking safely, is that you go over lows because she jumps, right? So there's a lot of problematic moves in the game that get dealt with by S-Disc. Now goes to S being one of them. And if you have resource, and it's which I do not have. let's get some of that, a crumb of resource. So if you do have resource, you get to combo however you want. Lol, pain. Your boy don't got it today. Alright, into whatever you want. This combo, they unfortunately changed projectiles, so you don't get as good combos up this in mid-screen anymore, but you do get a combo. On normal hit, you basically get to just pull up. You don't get like combo return, so you'll have people like gambling on you after hit, but it's much easier to follow up than it used to be, which is nice. Then another important ground versus ground tool is her IED. This is really, 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 really important. It is important to think of this as a ground poke and not as a I want to get in. It's kind of the same mindset as Pin used to be, where there are characters who have good ground pokes. So if you think that they're going to press the ground poke and you IAD, you win, right? So you can think of it like that instead of like trying to force your way in a little bit. At this range, you get to use this, and you get to use this, and you get to use this, and you have the threat of this, and you have back off all at the same time together. So having IND in that toolkit is also really good. And by having IND, you also have this too, IND Capel and Capel in general. So this is your anti-air move. A lot of characters have like either this type of anti-air where like they get good return off this, or they have like good 6Ps or something, and your response to all of these are Capel. Now I will say there is counterplay to Capel. I actually don't think Nago can do this. Let's find out. So let's see. Okay, yeah. So there are ways to like go under it and stuff. But if you're varying your options well enough and paying attention to what your opponent is doing, it's going to be pretty hard for them to select against you. So you'll be fine. Air vs. Air is next. So Air vs. Air is pretty important for the character. She has... they basically buffed all these. So she has JS. So this move is disjoint. It's very fast. You have good return off it. JD, which is also disjoint. You have good return off it because it's a level 2 counter hit, just like JS. And you have Capel. So let's look at each move one at a time. First, you have JS. So the range is really good. It hits pretty far. And on block, you get to follow up with stuff. How you want to follow up your offense is up to you. There's a couple ways you could do it. You could do these type of things. You could do this type of 50-50. Right? You have that type of stuff. On hits, you have a bunch of things you can do. You can do this. Oh, I missed it. This is one that I don't use that much. Oh, whoops. There's this really hard one that I forgot how to do because I never use this stuff. You have a lot of ways you can combo off this, frankly. So it's nice and flexible. The other really nice thing about this is that when you whiff it, you have air options. So if someone is under you, let's say, and you think they're gonna like 6P or something and this whiffs, you can use Capel, you can air dash away, you can double jump. There's all sorts of things you can do, which is nice. You get this out JK and JP as well, but just the hitbox on this is really good, specifically as air vs. air. Then you have JD. So let's do like this. So JD is much more of a specific usage compared to JS, where JS it's all around. So specifically, it's when people are like really high up, because this you can definitely get, but there's some characters that go above. A really good example would be, oh, he's right there. Look, Zato. Zato is a pretty common example. Chip is also a pretty decent example of this. It comes up every now and then. Zato is probably the one I use the most. I use it in the Millia mirror too, but not too much because she's too fast, right? So specifically, it's this. Okay, so most characters would struggle to get up here. I'm trying to use JS. Just cannot, it just does not reach. Nor JK is like barely. Okay. Try JK again. Okay, I have to wait mad long. Where JS, just send it. JD, I mean, just boop, boop, boop. So that's what JD is really good for. You go all the way up. You get to follow with offense same way, which is pretty nice. Capel is a unique one where you are trying to stop people who are going from under you. This doesn't come up that much. It's not, and to be honest, this is not a super good example. The best example I would do is like this. So like I'm in the air already. If I'm in the air already and I'm above, I'll try to like get out by using either Capel or double jump to try to get away from their air throw. That one is not that common, but it's good to know that you could use Capel against people air versus air who are coming under you. Cool. Next, jumping in. So this is what all Millia players like to do, right? We all like to jump. So jump ins, jump H is like the obvious one. This move is really good. It hits on both sides, so you don't have to aim. You have air dash cancel options. You can protect yourself. There's all sorts of guessing games you can play. Character-specific guessing games, player-specific guessing games. It's a really, really good move all around. It has good options off it. So you have air dash, like I mentioned, air dash back. You have Capel. You have land. So you have a good option set to cycle around. This one is clutch. We mentioned this before in the ground versus ground 2, but Capel is also a very good jumpman because you can't anti-air it, and they have to adjust how they deal with you when you use this a lot. And the last one I'll probably mention is actually Turbo Fall a little bit. So Turbo Fall mainly in that this is a move that you could use to deal with people who are scouting specific options, and you could use this to adjust your timing. So a good example is for people who are waiting for this with like air throw. So let's say like, let me see how good my timing is. Oh, my timing's garbage. Oh. Pain. There you go, right? So I want to go into your loving arms, Alto. There you go. So here instead, right, that little delay sometimes can really help against people who are trying to snipe Capel too much. So you could use that if you're seeing people targeting certain air options you're using too much. Cool. Okay, offense. Blockstring offense. So when I say offense, I always mean blockstring offense. So her blockstring offense at its core is not bad. So one, I want to talk about 5K. I think this is a really important normal, mostly because it's her least committal offensive normal out of all of her moves. So one thing that's important to think about in this game is that with the new Gatling structure, everyone's Gatlings are split into like kicks and punches and then the rest, right? So she's actually like Chip, so she has like this. And with the additional hit stun on kicks on counter hit, it becomes much, much, much easier to confirm. Let's turn off him mashing because I just had every character in this game mashing. So she actually has a bunch of good options off this. She has 5k 6k, she has 5k jump cancel, she has 5k 2k, she has 5k 6h. So let's look at each individual option and why you would do each one. So 5k is just your general all-around tool. And your main goal with this is to see what the opponent's doing, see how they like to, whether they like to faultless defense or not, and then also hit certain mashing timings for them protecting themselves against throw. Let's actually get Millia on both sides, by the way, to make this a lot easier. If you play like Street Fighter, especially like Street Fighter 4, you know about crouch tech. So like the 5k, delay 5k is really good at hitting that style of timing, right? So example, let's do, and then we'll have on recording one, let's do like this. Boop, boop. Pain. There you go. And then, okay. So if I did this right, okay. Okay. And it's me delay mashing. Oh, I delayed it too much. Oh, I'm using my 4 frame. That's not fair. Whoa, Millia. Please say kick. Please say kick. Stop trying to throw. There it is. Okay. So you'll have to adjust your timing depending on how fast their fastest button is. But that is that's like the basic use of 5K, right? But then you have also this. So what is this used for? So the 6K is really slow, but you can use it to beat bows. And this is really important against characters like Jacko or Axel or honestly Millia Mirror. Any character that has like a low profiling 2K mash. This is a classic Guilty Gear strategy, is to use Millia 6K to go over their low. This is a really important one. That's the main place you would want to use it. Then you have 5K jump cancel. So 5K jump cancel, if they let you do this, then you get access to IDJH, which is hyper important. It's very important. We'll cover that later. She does have 5K Bad Moon. I personally think 5K Bad Moon is trash, mostly because you don't have enough blocks on to work with. So you get like this type of thing or this, which is a fucking nightmare. So I personally never use 5K jump cancel into Bad Moon. Even since Exert, I did not use it because it had similar problems. So I don't recommend that. Just use the IED if possible. Then you have an interesting one. Then you have this. So 5K 2K is a pretty fun Gatling because what this does is a couple of things. One, if for some reason people are letting you do 5K Bad Moon, which they shouldn't, you are going to smoke them. So if I do like and this, I'm about to maybe my fuzzy timing is good. Let's find out. Oh shit. Good luck me. Okay. This should be fuzzyable, by the way, if you practice. Yeah. Yes, sir. Oh, I have it on slot 1 only. I was getting hit. Let's go. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, you should be able to fuzzy this, no problem. Yep. Good. My personal main use for this is specifically 2 things. 1, for catching people who mash backdash, and 2, for catching people who are trying to tech my throw but late, right? Because the throw tech window in this game is bigger than other Guilty Gear games. So if I do like, let's see, and this, I should only get hit on this sec. Let's put a throw. Put a throw here. Okay, so if I set this up right, okay. Should only get hit by the 2K. Oh, Millia, please. Oh. Please do the low option. Oh, I'm too good. Oh god, there it got me. Yeah, but I'm trying to switch back to. Okay, see. So you can hit people for that, and you can hit people for backdashing. So I'll get the specific one where, like on this recording, I backdash, right? I can backdash a little bit later. Oh, let me wait for the second kick. Right, because all these inputs you have to do back. So the 2K lets you catch all these back inputs. So that's like a really fun option. Then there's this option is pretty important. So this is mostly just frame trap, and it also goes over stuff, and the return is really big on it. The 6H first hit has some cute options, but if you use the initial 5KK to see how they like to block Millia, then you could use some of the tricky / gimmicky options off 6H. But the main thing for 6H is you're just trying to frame trap them in a very direct, high return way. Because if they get hit by 6H, that's damage. And one of her issues is supposed to be she doesn't do a lot of damage, right? Cool. Then we have close slash. So close slash. This move is so much. This move is so much. So this is an anti-air and a pressure tool and a confirm tool all at the same time. Okay, everything all at the same time. So, yes, sir. So the basic one that you would do is close slash at a 2p. So the main reason is this is plus. So if they mash, there's nothing you can do. You just get everything to this, right? But you have a bunch of other options off this. You have a high-low option in Bad Moon or 2S. This is unfuzzyable, so I could set a recording of me doing this to myself, and I'll just get hit over and over and over again. I'll block sometimes, but this is just a pure 50-50 guess. We can do it a little bit better. Okay. Yo, Groose, thank you so much for the 3 months, man. What's going on? What's going on? So, I could do my best, but I am only human. Sometimes you're just gonna get hit by this. Sometimes, and you're gonna block it other times. Yeah, this is a pure 50-50. This is an extremely strong option. Similar to 5k, you can use 6k here with the same logic. The only difference is you have more block stun. And speaking of block stun, this is why we like close slash into Bad Moon, because there is no gap. They cannot mash anything at all. They just have to take it. Close slash is 16 frame block stun. Bad Moon lowest height should be like 14 question mark. I'm saying that off the top of my head. I could be wrong. But the main point is that if you do it properly, there should be no gap there at all. Then also you have your IED option. So you have IED into JH. JH means you're fucking eating. That's just, it's party time. Again, we'll discuss in a little bit. I would also encourage doing delay air dash off this, mostly because I usually see this from PC players more than anyone else, because they think they can react, but people will try to snipe your air dash with air throw. So by delaying the air dash a significant amount, you're affecting their mental stack of what like they're processing, and they're like, oh, the air dash didn't come, what's coming, and then you do the delay air dash. That helps out a bunch. If you choose the Gatling out of 2S, then you basically go to the end of the string, and she ends the majority of her strings with Lush Shaker. A -5 moon, that's 3 hits, so it's pretty hard for the opponent to put you in a bad situation, but she is slightly negative off it. Cool. Then we have 6H. So 6H, the main thing I want to mention is that you have special cancel options off the first hit. You have Bad Moon, but experienced players will always stand up. They'll always stand up after 6H if they know the matchup. You have Capel, which has been buffed here. You have Turbo Fall. Now, the problem is standing up at FD basically beats everything after the first hit. So if I do, like, let's have some recordings, right? So if I do, here's 1, and then here's 2, and then here's 3. Okay, so let's go through one at a time. So if I stand up, actually no, I'll just do it random. So random. Okay, really far. I was a little slow. So you can see the issue, right? You can see the issue. The opponent does have to be prepared. However, if they FD, you're basically locked out of options. So again, you have to make sure you use this to see your opponent's defensive tendency, to see if it's even okay for you to do this. The other issue that can come up, this is an advanced tactic, but I just want you guys to see this just in case. Let's see if I got this on deck. Is that it's more than one hit. So I would say that there are more people who will IBFD the second hit of 6H than the second hit of close slash. But it's just something you have to pay attention to. This basically means your pressure is over, and depending on what you special cancel in, you might get hit. They will definitely at least try to stand FD because there's no threat of low, so to like push you out really far. So keep that in mind. The nice thing though is that this move is attack level 4. So you have a lot of blocks on to work with. You get to do special cancel options like you get to just go into this if you have meter. You can do Lush Shaker. You can introduce Mirage Dust Shaker to catch delay timings and see what they like to do. There's a bunch of things you can cycle into because you have a lot of blocks on to work with, which is good. Then we have the biggie is this. So there is a bunch of things you need to know about this move. So one is attack level 2, so you don't have a ton of blocks done to work with. The basic idea is that you use this and you use Capel to discourage your opponent from attacking you. Now what you can do definitely depends on where you are on the screen, but to start, using JHD is pretty nice here because this puts you in range to use Capel. This is a very basic place to start. So this little sequence will build a bunch of risk, you get a bunch of meter, your plus, which is nice, and then you can keep your offense going that way. You can also use this low. So now a thing here is that this is not an actual, like, this versus this is not a 50-50. With a little practice, an opponent can defend both of these pretty reliably, especially if I put it on random. Oh. Right, so you can block this pretty reliably. The main reason you want to vary this is generally, emphasis on generally, your opponent cannot beat both 2K and whatever follow-up JH options with the same button, right? So for example, let's use this classic. Like this loses so much stuff, right? Lose the 5P, lose the 6P, blah blah blah. We've seen it before. However, if I use 5P and 6P, the 2K will always win. So that's like the basic guessing game you can use. You can use Capel in order to build more meter and more risk on top of that as well if you want to enforce the air dash option more. So an example, and I use this a ton. Let's make her stand though, just to make sure she's small. So I use this all the time. Okay, so you can use that to get people to kind of relax, and then you can introduce other options there. There's also a character-specific thing. I have a list, but I don't think she's in here. No. Off the top of my head, who can I think this character. Yeah. Wait. So there's some character-specific interactions you can think about as well, because people will try different things to get around your Capel pressure, but they can't really react to the stuff you do, so they kind of have to just guess and like pick something. The bad news for you is that most of the things that people can pick are pretty safe. The good news for you is that you can stop them anyway, so it's fine. So an example of a character-specific interaction is this. He has to do 6P. He cannot actually do 5P. 5P is a pretty common option because it's a very low commit, but he cannot actually 5P. There's a couple of characters that can't 5P when you do air dash JP, which enables all sorts of nonsense. They have to pick more committal stuff. The size of the character also matters as well in situations like this. So let's do it like this. Oh, hold on, my bad. Boom, boom. There you go. So it's kind of hard. Some people will try to like walk out the corner. Some people will try to FD, but then like they're still so big that the Capel hits them. You'll have to do some experimenting on your own, but generally it's much easier to do Capel pressure to bigger characters than to smaller characters. That's the main rule. So make sure you vary your offense and keep them guessing so that you can build that risk and get the meter that she desperately needs so that you can mix them, okay? A small note is that if you choose to do this mid-screen, your Capel follow-up should almost exclusively, as much as possible, should be JS. Mainly because that the JS is disjointed. So you're going to be safe if they press after. Where if you do like jump kick, for example. Oh, I got lucky here, but there's like Kai and stuff can hit this. I should get Kai. Yeah, I should have did this with Kai. It's okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, damn, I'm woke on this today, huh? In matches when I was doing this, I get hit, but the point is, if you do JS, you will just hit them. So use JS. Cool. All right, defense is dope. So her defense went from quite bad when the game came out to actually pretty good. Let's get who's a good character to show defense. Oh, we can do actually Geo's okay, I guess. Or even, you know what, actually, because now it's easier to do this chip. Okay, so defense. So a lot of people talk about defense only like, oh, you have a 3-frame button, or you have a DP, or you have an annoying super or something. I've been playing Baiken, you know, you have parry, PRC, all that stuff. But since the game came out, Millia's defense has gotten buffed a lot. So let's go over all of her defensive options. One is backdash. I know I said this was not good, but it is an option. It is an option. It is a pretty strong option mid-screen. The issue is like it's not good in the corner, but it's good mid-screen because it goes really far. In the corner, you don't go anywhere, right? So you don't get the distance advantage, so your invincibility is low. So keep that in mind. The other nice thing about this, actually, is how she fares against throw PRC. So if they do like this, right? So let's say like what would be... How did we set this up before? Oh yeah. So against throw PRC, she recovers really fast, so you're able to like escape. That's pretty nice. She also has 4-frame 2P. This is clutch. So my man's always mashing. Alright, so 4-frame 2P, she's able to punish a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of moves in this game that are -4. Now she can punish them all. So Giovanna 2K, not 2K, Giovanna 214K falls into this as well. So you can use that to mash out. But then they also buffed her 2K so that it's bigger and low profiles, like I mentioned. So you have this, where now you cannot do this before. Cool. So there are situations where you can mash 2K and your 2K is going to reach, and then it doesn't push out for, so you get 2K 2D and you get to go in your win condition. But then you also have 2P to protect yourself from throw situations, and you have guaranteed punishes with it. All that is very good. Then you have probably one of her stronger defensive options, which is system, but whatever, is so the delay jump, the fuzzy jump, mainly because when she jumps higher than other characters. You have a ton of air options to vary your air movement. Your return on like jumping a throw is pretty good. I'll go into that a little bit later when I talk about combos. So that's a really, really important one to use. You can use delay backdash as well, but again, in corner it's not as good as mid screen, so just keep that in your back pocket. Another one is her 6P. So she has a top tier 6P. I probably should have mentioned this in pros, but she has a top tier 6P. Her invincibility activates very, very quickly. So this comes up in... let me make sure I'm not bullshitting, because I feel like I have examples all the time and then they're not right. So this is Testament 6P. Everyone thinks this move is really good, myself included. This move is an amazing move for neutral, and it does a lot for the character as far as keeping them safe in pressure and stuff like that. But you get smoked by this. But however, Millia does not get smoked by this. Low key, if Millia got some return on some of this shit, her defense against Leo would be like really good. Like the options are good, but you just don't get return most of the time. It'd be like that. So Millia, since her 6P invul activates faster, I'm trolling, as usual. I'm fucking trolling. Oh my god, she's supposed to be able to 6P this. I'm big trolling as usual. Yeah, my god, yeah, I'm huge trolling. I'm huge trolling. That's supposed to be I definitely put that in my defense notes against Leo, right? That Millia can 6P that, or am I big trolling? I'm about to go look, because there is something specifically that was like, when I'm Testament, I cannot 6P, but when I'm Millia, I can 6P. Where did I put it? Leo. Okay, I was definitely trolling. There's something where I'm supposed to be able to... Oh, was it this? Was it this? Oh, I didn't record it. I definitely don't think it's this. It might be this, actually. Oh shit, it is this. Okay, I was not trolling. I was not trolling. Wait, or I am trolling. I don't know yet. Oh, there, it was 2K. Okay, good. So Testament, run this back. So Testament, everyone says 6P is juiced. I agree. They have a juiced 6P. However, they cannot 6P this because the invul activates too slow. Where Millia, let's go back. Jumping back and forth around the cast. Millia can do this, no problem, because her 6P invul activates faster, which is pretty good. Your last option is this, it's Winger. I meme about this and I say I use this move once a month, mostly because the move is just not good. The move is really not good. It's very risky, and you have no life and you have no meter. There's almost always something better you can do than Winger, but every once in a while you have to let them know that they can't just do whatever. You're supposed to be able to do that sooner. Let me just do it. Like here, I guess. There should be a range where... There it is. Yeah. Right? So, it's nice that she has a reversal. It's 9 frames, which means in the previous patch, it was 7 frames. So, like, it was hard to safe jump before, which is nice. But this is a very big risk last resort. Like, all the stuff I listed before, plus system mechanics like instant block and instant block FD, are all, like, you should find a way to use one of those over Winger. Winger is absolute last resort. Absolute last resort. Even with 100 meter, it's last resort type things. Cool. Now let's go. So disclaimer about combos. A lot of people say I'm sauceless. I agree. I do what I gotta do to get the dub, right? So I'm gonna teach you the combos you need to just get the dub. I'm not gonna do anything fancy because I don't do anything fancy in the game because I am a boring ass player. So I made a small list of combos. There's only 8 combos here. Only a couple of these need special explanations. So the first combo, and maybe the most important one to learn when you're starting, is that. Yes. 2K2D, because this immediately leads to your win condition. You should really just have that. Have that. 2K2D the GOAT. It's very easy to confirm on block and on hit. Cool. Then you have Far Slash. So Far Slash, there's a couple of things you can do. One of the things is like her 5H is not like big, so it's not common that you get that. You kind of have to be inside the range. However, if you are, you generally get hair car. They buffed hair car so that it's easier to hit. If you don't feel confident, you can use S-Disc. If you don't feel confident for some reason, if you're fishing with this move, looking for a counter hit, then you can have a situation where you get this. So what this will do is that you'll get S-Disc on normal hit and hair car on counter hit. So the way you do this is you do far slash, you do S disc, and then you do hair car. So you do far slash, 236S, 214K. If you do that, the hair car will only come out on the counter hit. There's actually a more advanced one that will give you Mirage into hair car. So you do, it's a lot of inputs. You have to do S disc and then Mirage and then hair car really fast. I'm not good at it. I don't use it very often. There it is, and you'll be closer. You have a combo chance here. As you can see, I don't want it to happen to you, but you get a pretty simple combo follow-up after. Again, I don't totally recommend it. I think it's simpler to do it in matches just to do the normal hair car and go for Oki after. You do what you want to do. An important thing to also confirm is if your far slash hits on a croucher. If your far slash hits on a croucher and 5H will reach, you get to do this. So this is normal. You can get it eventually. Oh, oops, I'm dead. This one's a pretty important confirm, and it also makes confirming like not hard on you mentally, like if you don't tunnel vision, because on a normal hit, well, on counter hit you will get this, and on normal hit you will get, when they give me normal hit, you would just get this, and that pretty much sums up far slash combos. The last one you would want to do is this, but that has its own section, so we'll get there. Then close slash. So close slash. You have close slash 2D. This is the same energy as 2K2D. A lot of situations where you might get like a weird like jump H, you might want to do close slash. And there's a lot of Oki situations where if you get, let's say, oh, what's I'm bad. How am I not getting this? Okay. The reason why we do one hit of close slash is so that they stay closer to us. Close slash, I don't know about this patch actually, because the 2K pushback is less than it used to be. But when the game came out, and actually for a long time, the close slash first hit had less pushback than the first, not the first hit. The first hit of close slash had less pushback than 2K. So that's why we tend to do one hit of close slash. Okay. Another one's gonna be close slash into 2H. So this is your launcher, so you get to just do a ton of stuff off this. The main one you want to learn how to do is this. This is basically our close slash beam. So you're going to have close slash 2H, 214K, 214P. So you're using Mirage, her roll, into hair car here. Then link with close slash, and then you could do Mirage hair car again if you want, and that will splat. Cool. Then you have counter hit close slash. So counter hit close slash is weird because they made her close slash like a launcher, so it like pops up. See how he goes up on the second hit? So you can't do the combo I just showed you. Your hair card is gonna whiff because of slowdown. It's really weird. But here you can use 6H and then dash. Sometimes you don't have to dash, but I prefer to dash every time. Okay, you get a nice chunk of damage that way. If you, generally, to be honest, in matches, when I get the close slash counter hit, I go into 2H when it's like random, and go to my normal combo. But if I know the close slash is gonna hit counter hit for some reason, like I'm running up to a DP, then I'll do 6H instead. Another little note too is about let's make him not. Hold on. Okay. Is about when to pick, like after hair car, like this type of hair car, sliding hair car, when to pick close slash and when to pick 2K. My rule is if you don't know, pick 2K. That's the easy rule. You'll learn with experience. But if you are not sure what will work, pick 2K. If you're sure close slash will work, pick close slash. That's the easiest way I could explain it. Right. Then after this, I want to talk about. Oh wait, my bad. I have to do similar to far slash. You have like this type of routing, and this type of routing. This is Mirage into Septum, and then you have this type of routing. But we'll go into all these later. I just figured I should just show them real quick because they go with close slash. Again, I'll talk about the Septum usage in a little bit. Then routing. So this is pretty important. So this is how to pick what combo to do off what hit. So not so much about like when you catch them randomly in neutral, but specifically like after you already hit them and you have them going in your mix-ups. So when you get this, if you hit this or like wait or like a double jump, like fake, like this, shoot, then the core combo that people tend to use is this. This is the re-jump combo. So you end the combo on the ground and you have various follow-ups you can do. This is probably your main go-to. It does okay damage and you get to go to another mix-up, and that mix-up leads into disc again. So routing wise would be bonk and you hit them, D, S, S, you do whatever mix-up you want, and then you continue. I personally recommend doing close slash for these resets. I'll talk about it more in a little bit again. We'll talk about Oki. Mostly because your on-block options are better than 2K2D. Just throwing that out there. Now, there are cases where you'll get something like this. So, let's see, he's on. So when you get this, it is possible to re-jump mid-weights. It's just kind of annoying to do. You usually have to use a different normal, like JK, to fix it, but they're sent out really far. It's pretty hard to mix up from this range. So if you go for this style of mix-up, I recommend your routing be going straight into hair car, because here you got to do another H disc. And the damage is comparable to doing a re-jump, and you get a nice little safe jump, and you can continue your offense that way. So those are probably the main, that's like the main choice you'll have to make. There's one other choice you might have to make as far as combo routing when you hit people, where you get a hit, like let's say you get this, but they have burst and you want to like cover their bursts. This one's kind of an advanced idea, so if you're starting a character you won't have to worry about it. But if you've seen anyone go into an air combo instead of doing like a re-jump, that's why. In the case you choose to do an air combo, you have well, that's the wrong one. You have this. This is like the main one everyone does. It's whoops. SD, S, S. Oh, whoops! I hit 2K. I'm trolling. Okay. SD, S, SD, air dash SD. It's a Bad Moon. Sometimes it splats, sometimes it doesn't. Bad Moon is fucking random, honestly. But that's like your main like damage go-to without using meter. Cool. Then corner combo. So this is your corner B and B. You're gonna use this a lot. Okay, I'm trolling. My bad. This is the actual one. The actual one. This is your main go-to combo right here. That's your main go-to corner combo. A nice thing about this is that it is extremely flexible, and you can just break the wall. You can break a winger for damage. If your opponent has less than 50 meter and they will not get 50 meter, I definitely recommend picking winger. If your opponent is close to 50 meter and you don't want them to get 50 meter, then I would do Septum Voices because it's less hits and gets less meter. If you don't have any meter and you want to break for whatever reason, this would be the go-to. If for some reason the wall has some damage and you're like in this part of the combo, since the first hit of 6H is special cancelable, you can use Turbo Fall to land and do whatever super or anything you want, which is pretty nice. If you want Oki, then you can go this, and you cut it off here, and you get your safe jump. There's a lot you can do. Cycling back to routing, one thing that can happen from mid-screen is you get a hit like this, and you put them in the corner. So now, depending on this takes a lot of experience to judge, but you have a couple of ways. Like, let's say you're like here instead. So I get this hit. You have the possibility of making it all the way without it splatting, and then you get your Oki there, which is pretty nice. But if you're a little bit closer and you want to keep your offense in the corner, I would do this, and this is a nice little safe jump. Okay, so that's some additional routing considerations there. Next we have punish. So generally, I wrote this down in my notes as YRC punish, but this can come up against DP sometimes or whatever. So you have two main ways to punish. So one, I'll explain So even though close slash being 2 hits is kind of a pain for when you're doing block strings, the nice thing is that since the first hit is jump cancelable, there's a ton of stuff you can do against your opponent's defensive options. So there's a timing where you can continue your offense, but if they I did it wrong. There you go. It looks right. So there's a timing where you can continue your offense on block, but if they choose to like YRC the first hit or burst for whatever reason, you will jump and block. And the good news is too is that it's not just on 2S. You can do it off of I did it wrong. Pain. I don't. Your voice troll, by the way. There it is. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so the input for these, so to do the 2S one, which by the way is way easier, in the hit stop of the second hit of close slash, you input jump. However, I usually do jump forward, and then you switch to down back and you press K and S. If you do this correctly, you should do that only on YRC or burst. And the bad one is similar. You jump back and input 236 PK, and you should get it on with bad move. And it should also give you a TK bad move. Right? Okay. So in the case you get one of these punishes, because it's probably the time you'll get it the most, there's a couple of ways you can punish. You could use 2H, or you could use, if the wall is janked, you use 5H. Okay. The 2H combo you generally want to do, it's honestly really similar to your standard combo. It's basically the same as your standard combo. It's just that instead of going into S disc, you go into 6H, and then you just do the same combo. It does a ton of damage. This one is money. If you get it in mid screen, then you have this. You also have the option though to this only comes up against DPs. Actually, I'm trolling. You have this option as well. Let's get Kai. Then we're going through it. Thank you for your patience while I'm like, oh, this example that's supposed to work doesn't work. All right. Anyway, so let's get Kai, and then we'll have him. So this is, you could do the same combo that I just showed you. This would be 2H Mirage into the rejump combo. And it's quite easy here compared to other spots. Or if they have a burst, you can do this. So the same thing as the YRC thing. Or you can do this as well. Mirage has upper body invincibility, so you will go under in that case because they're really high there. So that's another option you have. Now, if they don't burst, guess what? It is the same exact combo. Same exact combo. You can kind of see a pattern where you mostly do the same combos in most situations. She doesn't have a lot of super varied situational combos. Now I want to talk about throw punish. Let's go to throw punish next. So let's get Kyle. So in mid screen, your throw punish is pretty simple. Okay. Your throw punish is pretty simple. You just go for Oki. Unless they're going to die. If you have meter to cash out with like Septum, you would do that. Of course, I'll explain that in a little bit. But in the corner, and unfortunately, I didn't play an Evo on stream. It only came up a couple times. So this, we talk about, okay. So this is well and good because you get H disc, right? But pain. So you it's like you get out, but then they still get their offense. So what do we do? So we can do this. Oh, I messed up. My bad. Oh, I messed up pain. There it is. Okay. So why? The main reason is because, let's set this to random. The main reason is we get sent to mid screen. We want to be mid screen. We don't want to be bursted into the corner after being right on defense. Other characters, you know, they're gonna send you to the corner. They're gonna break the wall, whatever. You would just get like a standard knockdown that doesn't do a lot of damage, but they will take their turn back because burst knocks down. So if you use this route instead, then not only do you get Oki with their back to the wall, but if they burst you mid screen, which is really nice. The way that you do this is you do jump H and then you tiger knee the capel. So you do 2, 3, 6, 9, quarter circle forward up, capel, and you will be sent mid screen. There's actually another way to do this. You could do turbo fall capel, but I'm really bad at it. So you can try that if that works for you, but I prefer doing the tiger knee version. Okay. Can you do ID capel as well? I don't actually think you can. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, because you don't get a combo, right? This is like immediate situation reversal right here. Big situation reversal. So you get a combo and everything. Where ID capel you don't. I think I tried ID capel because I was like, this would be really easy, but you just send them into the corner and then you're mid screen. You don't really get return. So it's hard to justify overdoing. I mean, you're not gonna die if they burst you, which is nice, but why the TK? You need the TK to get you over them. If you don't TK, you won't get over them. Let's grab it real quick. So see, it's kind of random. Where if you TK, you will always trolling, I guess. There I didn't TK it. If you do TK, you will almost always get this. Where especially if it's random timing, because no one's gonna burst that fast. But where I think even with random timing, I'll get bursted into the corner. Where this way. Alright. Coolio. So last combo thing. Last combo thing is what happens when you have meters, specifically Septum voices. So she is a character that has a comboable super. Okay? She has a comboable super. So where do you get to do this? When and how do you use this move? So one, it's a hard knockdown. So when we actually discuss routing, one thing you can use as like kind of a game-ending situation would be to do this. And here you get to pick between extending your combo for the wall break and kill, or you can choose to go for Oki. Oh, whoops. I just forgot to do the combo. Into however you want to set it up, because you get a hard knockdown there, right? You have that option. Then you have another option of you got a close slash and you have 50 meter. So ideally, you don't do this. Sometimes you have no choice. The issue is when you get this type of hit, it is not easy to get that close slash. It's pretty character specific how they'll fall on it. You might want to delay your septum to make sure all the hits hit, or else like sometimes one hit will not hit. It gets really funky. The way you make sure, absolutely sure, that you get all the hits and enough frame advantage to get close slash is by doing septum into it. And look how high they are. And then the way you have two routes. You can go for this. Or you can go for this. Okay. Similar-ish damage. The main difference is that between these two routes is since you're using 6H, that means you have to take them to the corner where like you might not always get that opportunity. Then you also have this. Oh, not my bad. There you go. So you have this. So this combo is basically you pull up. This takes practice. I'm not gonna lie. This takes practice. They have to fall on your 2S. People miss this in tournament all the time. I've definitely dropped games for doing this. So just keep that in mind. That's why you always want to use Mirage before stuff. If you manage to confirm this, oh my bad. You gotta be a little bit closer. There you go. You can do the same type of thing as I mentioned before. The main thing is that it is a range thing, so at max range you're not going to be able to do it. On a standing opponent, this is going to reset. On a crouching opponent, it will work at any range. My bad. Because you have extra frame advantage to work with there. So these are your main things you're going to be picking. If you have time to confirm, I would definitely say get the Mirage into Septum. If you don't have enough time to confirm, just do the Septum straight up. If you really don't think you can get there, go for the Oki. The Oki is really important because it's a super, so they will be locked out of burst until they get back up. So keep that in mind. How do you do Mirage Septum? Okay, this one's important. So it is really annoying to do this. I don't think I could do this raw. I think I'll get S-Disc a lot. We are taking advantage of the freeze because when attacks hit, both you and the opponent are frozen. So you can use that time to buffer it in really fast. So let me turn on actually display. Okay, so you can see it up here. So the way I do it, right? I buffer it into the move. That's doing it like this gives you way more time to hit it, and then you get it, no problem. Now, the last meter cash out thing that can happen is something because of a change in this patch. So, in this patch, there's no scaling on RC anymore. That hit used to scale, but it no longer does. So, there are cases where you get things like this, and you like absolutely delete them, or even better, if you just hit Lust Shaker straight up. This is a it's like the wrong combo. This is a whole bombo. Lust Shaker is basically her best starter, I would say. Her secret high damage starter. With Risk, this does a ton of damage. So just keep that in mind, that there are spots where you can do like button, or like you can get something like this, and you will get a combo of it if you're fast. Just keep that in mind. But that's it's not a super common thing. I would definitely say learn the Septum stuff first, and then revisit this later. Personally, I would say Lust Shaker stuff has only come up for me a couple of times in tournaments, but each time, Okizeme. So this is specifically referring to her Knockdown game. It's something she's really good at. Again, the defender can't really interact with her knockdown really well. Her H disc knockdown really well, especially if you get 2K2D. So let's start with 2K2D. So you have a very simple mix-up here that revolves around air dash. Now, I have not really told anybody this. This is the first time I'm gonna tell people this, but unlike the previous version, unlike the previous version in the game, the previous version of the game, the basic mix-up is to air dash right away. But there's a problem with this. Let's see how woke I am today. It's little itty bitty. Okay, so what is the problem? Let's see. Oh, I was a little slow. Okay. Does anyone see? Does anyone know what the issue is with how I'm doing it right now? And as a disclaimer, right now this is being recorded on base PS4. Okay, so this is the worst version of the game, not the real version of the game, which is what it is, right? My guy's OSing. No, I'm actually not OSing this. I am not OSing. I am actually blocking this on reaction. So the problem is that they made the disc faster, which helps her, but here, if you do the mix-up the way you did it in Season 1, then you will not, like, you can't hit people. Like, they can react to it, because there is, I don't know what the exact number is, but her air dash is supposed to be 13 frames, so it's supposed to be unreactable. But if you do it right away, it's just very odd. Like, the timing doesn't line up. So you have to do this instead. So all I've done is that. All I did was just change when I air dash, and I'm fucked. Yeah, now I delayed. All I did was delay the air dash, and it's fucking over. I cannot block the cross up anymore. I'm trying. Right? So very, 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 very important to keep in mind. That's important thing number one. You don't want to air dash right away. You want to just delay it a pinch. Just a pinch. And then you'll get that nice unreactable air dash. Right? Thing number two. You might have seen Millia's in the tower. They do this. Don't do this. I'm going to say right now, this shit is garbage what I'm about to do. Don't do this. Okay, to be fair, it is less garbage than it used to be, but it's still kind of garbage. You don't want that. There's a bunch of reasons why you don't want this at all. This is, I am double checking my homework. Let's do it with Soul, by the way. This is, I'm double checking my homework. I'm pretty sure you get smoked here, but. I'm pretty. I would like to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that you get smoked. I am a fucking idiot. That's crazy. I am an idiot and I am a troll. Soul runs up from full screen 2K2D. This should be easy peasy, by the way. Or not. Yeah, okay, good. Okay. That's probably the main reason why you would not want to do this in this version. There was routing issues earlier in the previous version, but she doesn't have those problems anymore. So the main thing is, like, if you air dash nothing, you will not leave yourself vulnerable to this. So as opposed to... Okay. Cool, right? Cool. Now, next. So you have air dash versus same side. So generally your same side, personally, I pick nothing when I do same side. That's cross, my bad. Here we go. This actually does lose to wake up throw. It does lose to wake up throw. But thanks to the routing fixes, there's a couple of things that enable this. So one, you do have air dash, right? And then two, you have some same side options as well. So you can do, instead of land nothing, you can do this. You can do this as well for same side options. You don't have to do land nothing. Land nothing is mostly when you're looking for like a gold burst or something like that. That's like, or if you just want to see what the opponent is looking for, slash are they FDing, like what are they trying to do to you. That's the main times I would do it. That's a pretty safe non-committal option, but again, a lot of characters can throw you when you're close. When you go over them, you might be like, man, like, why not do that? It's a cross-up overhead. It hits crouching. The only character you want to do this is Faust. Besides that, you don't really want to do this to any character. Okay, let me rephrase this. There's only two times you want to do this. One is against Faust. The other is if the opponent is playing like a small character and is defaulting to crouch block, so that to like kind of like mess with your second mix-up timing. The second mix-up I'm about to explain right now. When you air dash over them, you still have air options. So in the case that they blocked us, you can follow up with another mix-up. So like, let's say they blocked us. Now you can hit them with another 50-50. This won't do as much damage as them getting hit by the disc, but it lets you keep your offense. So your low option, of course, would be this too. You can also choose to do this faster by using Faultless Defense Cancel. The timing is going to be different in case your opponent is trying to preemptively block certain ways, because you fall faster. So the nice thing about this second mix-up is if the opponent gets hit by the cross-up, neither the overhead nor the low will connect, and you're able to follow up with a combo. If they block, you get a 50-50 right away. Cool. And you get to learn a lot about how they're choosing to defend, which is pretty important. And your exits are safe for the most part. All quite important. Doing the same side high and same side low is mostly just something to just like mess with them, like super mess with them. Then the next thing to talk about would be what if you're far from your opponent, because all these are like, we've got this and like this. Oh, never mind. Whoops. Like this type of thing, where you're on a nice ideal range. When you're far, and it's generally going to be this distance. So you have an interesting problem here where your air dash will not cross up. So you have a couple of options. One, your go-to is going to be just to do a high-low. Pain. So you can do land low, or you can do air dash high. If they, for some reason, get hit by the disc, it works the same way. Your return will not be high on this mix-up. However, if you hit them, then you get another H disc, and you're going to be close, right? You're going to be close, which is very nice. Then, another thing you do is you can get pretty cute. So last patch, I used this quite a bit. This creates like a rock, paper, scissors type of situation. However, she recovers faster from the disc and stuff, so the timing doesn't line up as easily. So instead, what I do is, what I've been doing a lot more is introducing this from this range. So of course we're in training mode, so I'm getting into the ideal max range. But there's a spot where you can't really tell what side she's gonna land on, and you have the threat of doing like the air dash, double air dash, or air dash land low. So using this in tandem will just keep them on their toes. Cool. In the corner, you basically are playing the same type of game as this. So you're using this. I mean, either faultless defense or non-faultless defense, air dash land low, or air dash lay air dash. You can also do immediate land 2K as well. I don't really like immediate air dash or even like delay air dash, but doing a bunch of like air dash, air. Oh, my bad. Air dash, or air dash then low. If you do that a bunch, then you'll kind of condition them, and you can introduce like just immediate low. And if they're not compensating for that, then you'll get a nice little hit, which is nice. Now let's talk about hair car. So this knockdown. So you mainly get it off things like this. You get a lot of like D style hits. That's one way we get it. Another way you get it is by getting this. As you can see, these are two really different types of knockdowns. Where here you're very, very close. Where here they kind of get knocked really far. The difference is the move you use to combo into it. If you launch them and they fall on hair car, they'll be very close to you. If they're on the ground, you send them far away. The main Oki I like to use of this, unfortunately you don't have time to get disc really, so you probably have seen people do this a bunch, and they'll do like same side or cross up or low. I've kind of changed my tune, and I basically run up and I either do land same side low like this, or air dash cross. I think this is fucked really. When I do this to myself, I get wrecked. I found pretty good success with it. So and then by not having the JP, I have more time to like line up, because JP, while it helps you time stuff, it is like 20 something frames. So just keep that in mind. If you get this though, you get a nice close jump H. Okay, you get a nice close jump H. There's a ton of stuff you can do with this depending on how much risk you want to take, how much resource you have, how much HP the opponent has, things like that. So every single jump H actually has a true 50-50. Every single jump H that you do. Bad Moon or land low, in all contexts, is a 50-50. Because Bad Moon is 2 hits, so you can't fuzzy it, right? You just cannot do it. However, your return on Bad Moon generally is not high. It does not do a lot of damage. Your situation after hitting it is not good either. If you have meter, you're gonna get a combo. That's amazing, right? And then in game-winning situations, it's really good because it's unseeable overhead. So you can take that risk around like, oh, just taking the round or not taking the round. That's one thing you can do. Next, you can do this or 2K. Now I will say this is fuzzyable, for sure. Even if you delay, it's still fuzzyable. It's very odd how like I feel like I'm delaying, but it still doesn't really hit at the same time. But it is an option you can use. Now there's one that I always thought I should use more, so I'll explain why I don't use this that much. So there's a triangle of options. To these next two, there's like a cycle of options, and I don't use this very much, this one in particular very much, because against opponents I have not played against, I don't know where they are against the character. Now the idea is pretty much let's say this. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops, I fucking missed it. Pain. There you go. Okay. So, okay, I don't use this too much because I think it takes too much conditioning. But the idea is that if you recall earlier in the video, I said that you can always block button JD or button 2K, right? But the timing you use to block the JD if they do air dash JP, you will get hit, and that JP or 2K is a 50-50. So you get something like this. I'm about to smoke myself right now. Immediately, because I'm trying to defend JD here. And then so I try to crouch early because I don't want JP to be in play, because JP is gonna hit later there, but then I get hit instead. Like this is just gonna wreck anybody who is good at blocking at OS guarding. But you have to show the JD. It does not work unless you show JD, and you might not have a lot of opportunities to do it. Yeah, this just smokes. You're not gonna have a lot of opportunities to do it. I think this is really strong, but it takes a lot of conditioning. Then you have a thing too where like, so I can't believe I got it in like just now, but if some true master wants to try to do this, do I have this recording? No, I think it's recording 2 or 3. Yeah, I forget which recording it is. Okay, it's 3. So let me see if I actually got it or not. Okay, I don't actually know how to do that. I will keep it real. I do not know how to do that. Before Evo, I was trying to get that so bad, and I don't really understand how I get it when I get it. That's what's supposed to happen. That's what's supposed to happen. So if there's a master out there who wants to tell me how to get the JP to hit twice, then please tell me, because I spent so much time. Any character, so on heavies, by the way, not even heavy, it's just Gold Lewis, I think. Just Gold Lewis and maybe Potemkin. You can get that. But you can get this on you can get this on Kai, you can get this on Millia, you can get this on a bunch of characters, but I don't actually know how to do this. Right? So just keep that. That's a little esoteric stuff, by the way. That's esoteric stuff. So you have that. But then you also have this. I'll put this on the other recordings, by the way. No, I got this off throw, by the way. I've done it off throw. When I found out she can do it, I did it off throw. So here's another one that you can do. It's also the same type of thing. And then you have... Okay. So this is if you play fighters, you know exactly what I'm about to say. So this is the same type of mix-up as DDFZ, where the high and the low hit on the same frame. So the JPP, the second JP, hits on the same frame as empty 2K. However, the land 2K loses to throw. It loses the stuff. Also, the land 2K can also be fuzzy jump. So it's really important to vary your options with this. The nice thing though is that your JPP is safe to like so much shit too. So your JPP is safe to, right? So it's safe to that, and then it's safe to this, and it is safe to this. It's just always safe, okay? And then if I actually try to defend this, I'm gonna get smoked. You just can't. The only thing is you have to take a pinch of risk to do this, because again, the low has nothing covering you. Yeah, the low has nothing covering you. But it is a 50-50. It's just one of the options has some risk. So like this is such a normal type of mix-up in Dragon Ball FighterZ, where it's like, oh, this is 50-50, but if they reflect this, I'm dead type thing. But you have to, sometimes you just gotta do it. So the good news is you have a ton of options. It's up to you to judge the situation, judge the character, judge what resources they have, and go from there. There's some more options, but I out of the ones that I listed are probably the safest overall. The riskiest option is definitely the empty 2K. There's other stuff that people like to do. I will show you a couple of them, but I do not recommend them. Call me sauceless, call me boring, call me a little bitch, it's fine, but I do not recommend them. They are very risky compared to all the other options I showed you. So you have this. for example, you have this, you can throw before the thing, you can do this. Right? The issue is both of these lose to the exact same thing. And people should be showing you this. Right? Oh, I did too slow. Pain, never mind. So this is me using a delay jump, so I'm blocking the high and then jumping after to make sure I don't get thrown or air dash crossed. There's one more type of thing. Actually, you have this style mix-up. I don't do this very often because I think it's weaker than last match. This is kind of tricky, but it's really hard. I basically don't think you can go cross in this version. Or you have my way of doing it, because I did it this way a long time. But again, it's really hard to cross. We use JD instead, but you have to manually time the JD. So everything after the empty... see how I went same side? Everything besides... So sorry. Everything after the 2K, I would say, is decently high risk. Decently high risk. If you go for it, cool. But just acknowledge you can die. And it's really important for Millia to keep her turn in every single version that you play her. So going for these, just acknowledge that you're taking a risk when you're doing them. Cool. Now, the good news is, all these things I said about hair car, this is basically the same type of knockdown here. Now, from the base to like, from like the beginning with like JH, all the way through like the JPP stuff, everything is the same here. The only thing I will mention here is that, to my knowledge, okay, never mind. I was trolling. Okay, cool. So yeah, the knockdowns are really similar. So the same mix-ups you use for the 2H hair car knockdowns, you could basically use with the throw. The main thing is that throw, it's auto-timed, where hair car, it might be a little varied, where you have to delay your H disc up. It's just a pinch. You'll learn with practice. Cool. Then we have Septum. Septum is fun. Septum is super fun. So there's a couple of ways you can go about this. Now, ideally, you get one of these. So you get like a sequence like this. So let's say you get this. So I'll do Mirage H-Disc again. So I do that after 6H because after 6H, you get a very good auto-timed, mildly auto-timed mix-up. You get 3 selections here. I really want to keep that last one, so let's do this. I need to get him to a spot. Let's do a 2K2D. You can also get this to 2K2D. So let's do a 2K2D. Oh. Pain. No, 6H is the easiest. Oh, you know what? I guess this would be the best way. Pain. Oh, I did too fast. Yeah, I'm supposed to do other content today, by the way, and go to the gym. You hate to see it. Man, how am I mistiming this? This pain. We take those, I guess. Okay, so this is fucking unblockable, honestly. It takes practice, It takes practice, but the idea here is with the Bad Moon buff, you can get this, and then you have your low option. I guess it's fine to use 2S if you want, honestly. So you get your low. You know, let me do a better recording. I want to use 2S. So you have this is your low option. Use 2K or 2S, up to you. Okay. And then you have your... I recorded over my PP. Shit. That's what she said. Anyway. Yeah, you're just gonna watch me get hit a bunch of times. This is probably my go-to Septum mix-up, honestly. When I have the opportunity to do it. It's easiest off 6H. So if you get to do 6H into Septum, then this is definitely what I recommend. If not... But by the way, it's tough. You do have to practice it. You do have to practice the timing. But it is... I mean, if I can do it, my execution is not good. So if I can do it, you can do it. But you also have... you can literally just run up and do disc. And you can land on one side or the other. And you can do your standard mix-up there. That's fine too. You also have another wildly screwed up one. Oh, my bad. Where you run up and you just jump. And that's it. And that's it. You just smoke them, right? So it depends, again, as usual, what options your opponent has, how much risk you want to take, things like that. The mix-up is pretty similar to your 2K 2D mix-up. Then we need to talk about the routing resets here. So, like, hit this. You'll see people do this quite a bit. Against light characters, only do one hit of this. And your mix-up is pretty simple. People do this different ways. I tend to do air dash FD, air dash JH. You'll land in the front or the back, depending on how you time it. And for even more variants, you can do this. My habit actually is like I kind of jump, like I do like a jump delay air dash to get the 2K personally, but everyone does this their own way. But the core selection is cross up, jump heavy, or same side normal. That one is very, very common. There's also one last thing involving routing also. I say routing anytime I talk about like these type of things. So this is using the fast RC change to keep your meter, because then you get disc into disc, and you'll get the meter back immediately to do this again and again until they die, if you feel like it. And it's the same type of mix-up as everything else I just. That's the end of my list. We went through a lot. We went through pros, cons, neutral, all sorts of neutral combos, and Oki.